So what happens when everyone thinks they're the prize? All right, so I want to start this off actually with some statistics from the U.S. Bureau of the Census, okay? So these are actually stats of percent of people that have never married. Never married, not single now, as in they have never married in their lifetime. And so you see from 1970, these are the men here. So men is 200, 2010, that would be at 20%. And that was at 4% in 1970. So that's a huge change in 4 decades. And for women, it goes from 6% to 13.8%. And so it drops off at 2010. So I went and looked for the data for 2020. And so here we're going to see the data for both sexes, and you're going to see 21%, right? But if you look at women over 40, from 40 to 44, you can see that number has gone up to 18.5%. You can see that right here, right? And it's even 14% for 45 to 49. So you see the trending upwards, right? Is that there are a lot of, and especially if these women are, they've never been married, then, they're going to have a certain set of expectations for the kind of partner they're looking for. Now, I wanted to baseline that, and I want to detail actually the kinds of expectations that people have about marriage, right? Sorry, this one. So about 1/3 of U.S. children are living with an unmarried parent, and this is from 3 years ago. So, and it shows here that it went from basically 85% in 1968 of children living and married with both parents or married parents to basically 1/3 of parents. Okay. Now, what I find really interesting is not just the number, but the attitude. And so this is a Gallup article about, is marriage becoming irrelevant? And so 29% say it's very important for a couple to marry if they have a child. So you can see the very important, this green line here, it goes from 2006, it goes from 49% to basically, it cuts in half. It's like 30%-ish, right? Well, not cut in half, but a dramatic drop. So 31% of US adults say it is somewhat important for couples to get married. So I want to actually show you by group, right? So look at that, college graduates, 25% of college graduates think it's important to get married before you have a child. And people between 35 and 54, it goes from 49% down to 1 out of 4, less than 1 out of 4 people thinking that it's important to get married before having a child. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because if you think about these statistics, they reflect a change in attitude about matrimony and children. And so, of course, there's no better way to actually see how this manifests itself than TikTok. So I'm going to let TikTok do the work for me, and just, you're hearing the manifestation of I'm the prize, and that is the way that this is showing itself. And so we're going to let you listen.
I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to sit here and prove my worth. I'm not going to try to manipulate you to believe that I'm better than anybody else. I know that I am. I know that I'm the prize. And it's not in any egotistical way. It's just, I know what I've been through, I know what I've healed, and I know what my value is. If you come into my life, that's a blessing. If I allow you the opportunity to see parts of me that I don't show everybody, that's a blessing. If I want you to be a part of my life, it's for a reason. I don't just sit here and talk to anybody. I don't waste my time because my time is precious.
I personally believe may the best man win. And when I say this, I mean this in the utmost humble way, honestly. I say this to say that because sometimes as women, we find somebody that we like and we take all of the eggs out of our basket and we don't allow him to really feel like he's in competition to put enough pressure in to win us. So this year, what we're doing is We're applying the pressure by exploring all of our options and keeping ourselves open. May the best courtship wins. That's the way that it works in the game. That's the way that it works when you actually are trying to win a prize. The best man always wins the prize. So, ladies, if you know you are the prize, do not take yourself off of the market for someone who you're having skeptical thoughts about, inconsistent. You could do better. Let a few men court you.
Woke up gorgeous again, feeling cute as usual. People confessing their feelings here and there, but I am too focused to be used. I am not chasing the bag today. The bag is chasing me. I am the prize. Woke up gorgeous.
Know this. To whom it may concern, I am the prize. Know this.
So if somebody says to you and they leave you, right, and they're like, it's me, it's not you, it's totally me, not you, baby, believe them. Believe them, because they've already seen that they are the problem. And so that means that you are the prize. And so as the prize, honey, you better get on your merry way. You better get on your merry way, sweetie, and go find somebody else who absolutely understands that you're the prize. And that somebody else could even be you. It could even be you, baby. Okay. Have a great week, y'all. Venus is in Cancer. Treat yourself
Oh, wait, listen, hear me out. I thought I was not good enough for you. I thought I wasn't good enough. But after I spent some time by myself, I realized that it wasn't the fact that I wasn't good enough for you. You were not good enough for me. And I was out here begging over a buzzard. Oh, wait, listen, hear me out.
Okay, so you saw in this string of 6 TikToks, and I, be honest with you, I was actually amazed. If you type in pound I am the prize or pound never settle, I mean, it's endless. There's so many TikTok videos, and it just speaks to it speaks to these numbers right here. It speaks to these numbers right here. I have to get these back up here so you can see them. It speaks to these numbers right here. You can see them. You see that the number of people that have never married, that are not going to settle until they find their ideal mate, that number is going up. It's going up, and you could see in the TikToks that the ages of the ladies that you saw, those ages are, I mean, you can see the ages are going up, right? And so the reason why I wanted to make this video and get this back up, because I want you guys to see these stats again, is that the norms have changed. And so for anyone that's, especially for young men, if you're out here dating as if this is 1970 or 1960, it's just not the case. We saw in these numbers here that if these numbers reflect what people are really thinking in terms of just, do you need to be married to have a kid? Then you're going to be dating, there's a great chance that you're going to be dating someone that has children already, or they're in some kind of involved situation. It's not going to be as simple as boy meets a girl, boy gets married to girl, boy and girl start family. 20, 30, 50 years ago, of course, that would be the expected norm. But there's a good chance that there's going to be a more complicated history. You're going to deal with, when you're dealing with older people, that means it's going to be, there might be some ex-husbands, some ex-wives, there might be a college sweetheart or 2 or 3. There might be some very complicated, involved situations in the past. And those will be things that you're going to have to confront when you're considering dating, especially as you see the dating pool get older and older, right? So I want to, the point of this video is for guys who are trying to somewhat date traditionally in this dating market, you're going to have to understand that and you saw from the TikToks that it's not like when you hear the words never settle, you're not going to get people getting older and getting more reasonable with their demands or with their requests for what they're looking for. You're going to see, I'm not going to settle until I get the guy that I want because I deserve it. That's basically the point of all of those TikToks, is that I deserve the guy that I want, and if I don't get that guy, I'm not going to settle. And so if you're the person that you might be settled for, then there's a good chance that that relationship's not going to work, and the expectations are going to be really high. And so I say that to say, if you choose to be one of the passport bros and go overseas and take a look around and see what's out there, I don't blame you for it, because you have to consider what being 40 years old and never marrying means. You can look around this space and you can get a good idea. I mean, we don't have to say it. You're 40 years old, you never married, or you've never been tempted to marry. I mean, what have you done for the last 20 years? You've done something. And so if you're going to be the person that's going to come in and be that first husband to someone that's in their mid to late 30s, 40, and possibly with a kid or some complicated situation, if you choose to do that, more power to you. But as an illustration of this dating landscape, it's going to become more like this. You're going to see marriage. I mean, it's probably already irrelevant, maybe even outdated, but you're just going to see standards go increasingly higher because we're making essentially the same money or similar money now. So the men that are going to meet the standard, they're going to have to be of higher quality, right? And you're going to have to expect a dating pool of increasingly older women. And if that's the kind of boat that you want to swim in, and you want to be a macalicious guy, and you want to have a rotation of women, this is probably as good a time as ever, because you can see from these numbers suggest that it's going to be a lot of people to choose from. There's going to be a lot of people to choose from in terms of unmarried older adults. So if you want to jump in the deep end, good as time as ever. If you want to take a look around, I wouldn't blame you to become a passport bro, because you're going to see increasingly higher and higher demands, and you're going to get flaked on probably by maybe older and older women, and it might be more and more frustrating. So if that's not a cue for you to consider going overseas, I'm not really sure what's going to be, because people are not going to get more realistic in this dating market. Anyways, with that, guys, I want to say thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later, guys.